Hello, friends! This week on Crafting with Cocktails, I am going to be making Luna Lovegood's radish earrings, and I'm very excited about it. I'm actually teaming up with Holy Crap It's Joe and Samma this week. They are making the same earrings just with different materials in different ways. Make sure that you go over to their YouTube channels to check out how they have done it differently. As always, let's start things off with a little cocktail. So I'm going to make weak-ass butterbeer, some rum, butterscotch schnapps, and some 7-Up, cheap imitation of butterbeer. Let's try this shit out. Yep, really cheap imitation of butterbeer. Bling! So you might have noticed that I have actually stapled some velvet to this table, part 1, because I'm a mess. And part 2, I'm going to be beading for this project. Whenever you're beading, it makes it a lot easier if you lay down velvet, because then your stuff doesn't just skitter everywhere, which I often have trouble with spilling things everywhere during this show. I'm particularly excited about this because I've been wanting to crossplay as Luna Lovegood for a long time. I mean, I got the hair for it, I got the crazy specs for it, and I have the general demeanor for it. You can read that as Grant is a little bit weird. And also a Ravenclaw. Akio, close up. Here's some of the stuff that you'll need. Different colors of beads, earring hooks, wire to hold it all together. For the first part of this project, I'm using a fishing line since it's both durable and flexible. I'm starting by placing 3 clear beads onto my thread and looping the thread around again through 2 of those beads. Squish it around a bit to make sure it's all centered on your fishing line. I like to lay out the next few sets of beads all at once so I don't have to count them when I'm on a roll, threading like a beast. I made up my pattern as I went, adding 2 more beads, looping the other side through them and tightening, then 3 beads, then 5 beads. I know this sounds a little daunting, but try not to get too bewildered. Once I made those 5 rows, I added a 6th row of 6 light pink beads to give it a more blended look. Rows 8 and on are all red and are all in the following order. You can see here that the fishing line makes the beads curve out since it doesn't like to be folded, making the earring 3D and totally radishy. I'm pretty sure Luna made her earrings and butterbeer cork necklace, so I'm impressed by the focus it must have taken her. Though Ravenclaws can totally focus. I'm just saying, I'm a Ravenclaw, I can't focus. Once all the beads are on the line, tie on the earring hook of your choice. I used a square knot and knotted it once more just to keep it super secure. You can also melt it if it's fishing line because, you know, that's meltable. And melting plastic is something we do here on Crafting with Cocktails. Now it's time to make some leaves! I made 2 of these leaves with the following number of beads in the rows. I used a piece of really thin electric wire so it would have a little more structure than the rest of it. Though I'd suggest using beading wire with a high gauge to it so it will keep its shape a little bit better. I left some tails on the end to secure them both where the hook was attached. When I was reading the books, I always imagined the radish earrings to actually be tiny radishes, so I was surprised that in the movie they were little beaded radishes, or possibly dirigible plums. Oh god. There we go. Do you know how hard it is to refocus a camera when you can't hardly focus yourself? These are adorable. You can also make these clip-on. Let's do a full-on Luna. We totally got this. Ooh. Ah, check out my Luna. See. I've never really beaded before, so this was a new one for me. If you enjoyed this episode of Crafting with Cocktails, make sure you hit the subscribe button and like this video. If you want detailed instructions on how to make these earrings, go to thecraftwizards.com to find out all of the nuance behind them. Also, I have a Patreon, so if you would like to support my crafts and my weirdness and also potentially get things like these earrings as little prizes, make sure you visit the Patreon. I even wore my little Patronus shirt. Specto Patronum. My little Patronus, which is a unicorn. Cute! I made this shirt when I was with Samma and Joe. Check out Samma's video here and Joe's video here and see how they made these very same earrings out of different materials. Ravenclaw for the win! Yes! This makes this an eye patch. Oh, I'm so out of practice.